Preface of Neighbors, Life Stories of the Other Half. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Diana Meilinger. Neighbors by Jacob A. Riis. Preface. These stories have come to me from many sources, some from my own experience, others from settlement workers, still others from the records of organized charity that are never dry, as some think, but alive with vital human interest and with the faithful striving to help the brother so that it counts. They have this in common, that they are true. For good reasons, names and places are changed, but they all happened as told here. I could not have invented them had I tried. I should not have tried if I could. For it is as pictures from the life in which they and we, you and I, are partners, that I wish them to make their appeal to the neighbor who lives but around the corner and does not know it. Jacob A. Riis. End of the preface.
Chapter 1 of Neighbors, Life Stories of the Other Half. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Neighbors by Jacob A. Riis. Chapter 1. The Answer of Ludlow Street. You get the money, or out you go. I ain't in the business for me health. And the bang of the door and the angry clatter of the landlord's boots on the stairs as he went down bore witness that he meant what he said. Judah Kapelowitz and his wife sat and looked silently at the little dark room when the last note of his voice had died away in the hall. They knew it well enough. It was their last day of grace. They were 2 months behind with the rent, and where it was to come from neither of them knew. 6 years of struggling in the promised land, and this was what it had brought them. A hungry little cry roused the woman from her apathy. She went over and took the baby and put it mechanically to her poor breast. Holding it so, she sat by the window and looked out upon the gray November day. Her husband had not stirred. Each avoided the question in the other's eyes, for neither had an answer. They were young people, as men reckon age in happy days. Judah scarce past 30, but it is not always the years that count in Ludlow Street. Behind that and the tenement stretched the endless days of suffering in their Galician home, where the Jew was hated and despised as the one thrifty trader of the country, tortured alike by drunken peasant and cruel noble when they were not plotting murder against one another. With all their little savings they had paid Judah's passage to the land where men were free to labor, free to worship as their fathers did, a twice-blessed country, surely, and he had gone, leaving Sarah, his wife, and their child to wait for word that Judah was rich and expected them. The wealth he found in Ludlow Street was all piled on his push-cart, and his persecutors would have scorned it. A handful of carrots, a few cabbages and beets, is not much to plan transatlantic voyages on, but what with Sarah's eager letters and Judah's starving himself daily to save every penny, he managed in 2 long years to scrape together the money for the steamship ticket that set all the tongues wagging in his home village when it came. Judah Kapelowitz had made his fortune in the far land. It was plain to be seen. Sarah and the boy, now grown big enough to speak his father's name, with an altogether cunning little catch, bade a joyous good-bye to their friends and set their faces hopefully toward the west. Once they were together, all their troubles would be at an end. In the poor tenement the peddler lay awake till far in the night, hearkening to the noises of the street. He had gone hungry to bed, and he was too tired to sleep. Over and over he counted the many miles of stormy ocean and the days to their coming. Sarah and the little Judah. Once they were together, he would work, and should they not make a living?
Sample complete. Ready to continue?